General instructions have gone out to the more than 600,000 postal workers to curb any overtime and cut back services. Hmm. Do you like this whole idea of that they're running against of how? What are your thoughts on the postal service? Let's start with that,
Thoughts on the Postal Service?
because it's in Article One of the Constitution that we have to have one.
Well, yeah. So I'm a constitutionalist, kind of front and center. So, um, even if it's something I don't necessarily like, if I see it explicitly mentioned in the Constitution, then I'm not gonna fight against it like ever. That's pretty much how I roll with that. So yeah, we probably need some sort of postal service because I think the idea with putting it in the Constitution probably had to do with the idea that the right to communicate with people
Yeah.
in a long distance form, which was only possible via the post office for a while,
Yeah.
is a right that everybody gets. Now, I don't know. So, at the same time, the founding fathers had no idea that the internet, telephones, etc., would be possible. But at the same time, I don't think we're quite at the point where snail mail, even though it feels like we're pretty close, I don't think snail mail is completely obsolete and useless at this point. I think
Yeah.
there's plenty of reasons to, especially when you're mailing people things. You still can't email things to
I think.
people.
Yeah, I think we're missing the big point of this. People get bills through the mail too.
That's true.
Yeah.
You could always, to be fair, if money ever goes completely digital, which it might, apparently like paper cash in other countries is like pretty rare, like in Europe and Canada.
Hmm.
Apparently, it's really weird to be using cash nowadays in a lot of places.
Well, not even that. Like, these bills have account information for if you wanted to pay something online.
Yeah,
If, not necessarily if you're paying them cash. Some people still pay check.
yeah.
Checks are kind of becoming obsolete more and more, but
Well, yeah,
there.
with the way we currently have it set up, yeah, you can't just keep everything the way we're running it, get rid of the postal service, and then good. It would create way too many problems. It's not as simple as that, like freaking libertarian argument that the postal service is inefficient and takes my taxes. I want it gone. It's more complicated than that. We've built our system around it. You can't just take it out and not expect the other Jenga pieces to fall down. It's like stupid to suggest that. But
It's as much of a service as anything else in the government.
for sure, for sure. But I guess the only thing I was getting at with the lack of paper money in other countries, and it was kind of a response to the fact that like right now with the way we do bills and the way we do payments and stuff, yeah, you can't take the postal service out.
Yeah.
But like, what if long term you did? Um, what if money went completely digital eventually? It might.
Good.
If money goes completely digital, then like yeah, you could have your bills completely set up online. If you had guaranteed internet for everybody, you wouldn't need a postal service.
Hmm.
Um, you might still need a postal service to do a similar thing to what UPS does, delivering packages and stuff like that. But you could definitely have the scope of what the postal service does reduced. So as long as we still have since it's in the Constitution, it's basically a right guaranteed by people. So even if writing people letters and communicating through the mail becomes entirely obsolete because everybody will have internet, and if hypothetically money goes completely digital and the billing isn't like very like needed anymore via mail, there's still I don't think mailing people packages and being a utility and a right that's guaranteed to everybody will ever go away. You could make the argument that you would want um, it to be taken over by UPS or something like that, but I don't really like that.
Because what's stopping them from
Monopolizing?
not only monopolizing, but completely privatizing our mail? Paying money, I would say, like, I don't know. It just cost me $15 to have them come pick up a package at my house. Like, what's stopping them from completely taking over, monopolizing, like you said?
I mean, yeah, I don't like
When it,
monopolies. That's what I'm most scared of with that
yeah,
whole topic.
a lot of people think too, like the whole uh,
I
head
mean,
bashing between the postal service and Trump is that Jeff Bezos, Amazon, sends a lot of his packages through the postal service, and they kind of have like a deal.
oh yeah, and he's not a fan of Bezos.
Nope. not at all.
Which is pretty interesting because you have the same people who are really pissed off at Trump's building guillotines on Jeff Bezos' lawn.
Hmm.
So, I mean, kind of funny the tangled factions we got in the United States. Everybody, I feel like it's one of those standoffs where everybody has their guns aimed at literally everybody else.
Yeah. Old Western draw.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, with the Postal Service, I would never make it a main talking point of mine to get rid of it. I understand some of the people's arguments for it, but at the end of the day, when you hit me with it's guaranteed in the Constitution, I need to stay philosophically consistent, and the Constitution is one of my bases for a lot of arguments, because even though, obviously, a paper written a long time ago can't necessarily not do any wrong, but everything good about our country kind of comes from the Constitution. The checks and the balances, the fact that power is divided in a way that is somewhat fair. It's been bastardized a little bit, and it can still be modified, but that's the other thing. Constitution was made specifically to be able to be adaptable. So if there was a way, if the post office system was super inefficient and there was a constitutional way to amend it, then yeah, I'm all for that. But getting rid of it without due process would be pretty stupid. But also, I think it would be alarmist to say we're in any danger of that happening. Trump might attack the post office all the time, but I think at the end of the day, all he would end up doing is cut their funding, interfere with who's involved, etc., etc. I don't think he's in any danger of privatizing it. I think it's a bad look for him. I don't think he's that stupid.